How do you plan a wedding in the midst of a global pandemic? My name is Poonam. I'm a South Asian Australian wedding and event planner. I empower couples to follow their dream wedding vision to plan a breathtakingly beautiful wedding which truly reflects their personality. Before I run through my wedding planning tips for 2021, I would like to say a big thank you for being here first of all, and would love your support, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified if you'd like to know when I publish a video. And also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you love it. So perhaps you're newly engaged or you have had to hold off on plans due to you know what. My heart truly goes out to you. Today I want to provide you with 5 great tips for getting your wedding planning off the ground in 2021. Firstly, I want to cover setting goals for your wedding planning. You may recall in a previous video last year that I spoke about building your wedding vision and setting priorities for your wedding. I will link to that video in the description, but before you go ahead and watch that video, I would love for you and your partner to set aside some time, some quiet time, and make a list of the top 3 to 5 things or elements that you guys want for your wedding. I don't mean like good photographer, because they aren't hard to find these days. I'm thinking of more detail, like for example along the lines of fine art Indian wedding photographer with a team who can capture all the minute details and meaningful moments from my wedding. See how specific that was? There are a number of ways in which you can find this inspiration, and one of them, of course, is being Pinterest. And you know how much I love using Pinterest. Use it very, very wisely. Often brides and grooms watch these television shows, or they'll find these beautiful Pinterest images and they will picture their wedding to look exactly the same. Expectations versus reality is a thing that us as planners have to deal with on a constant basis with our couples. I'm not in any way deterring you from going all out. I am simply just advising you to tread carefully and plan a wedding that best fits you and your partner's style, vision, and personality. And of course, budget. On the topic of budget, I would love for you guys to break every single thing down. I know it's tough to do that, and I know what it feels like to not know what the cost of things are. So go and talk to your suppliers, ask them whether this budget is realistic. For example, for your flowers or for your decor, ask them for meaningful, truthful advice, and more often than not they're going to help you move into the right direction. I will be discussing budget planning in the next video, so make sure you tune in for that. Next is focusing on the experience. It's been around a year now since COVID hit, and clearly the world has changed a lot. I understand that it's a difficult fact to accept for most couples, and you probably really wanted to celebrate in the most lavish and beautiful way, but the reality is that you may have to forego those big celebrations. This means cutting back on your guest list, and not just for the safety of yourselves, but also for your guests and your close family and loved ones. But you can still make your wedding unforgettable and truly memorable by focusing on the experience. This includes things like investing in floral decor, experiential food and beverage, virtual experiences for your guests or loved ones who can't attend your wedding, personalized wedding favors that reflect you as a couple, hiring a wedding planner. I'm going to give a huge shout out to one of my favorite wedding planners out there. Her name is Andrea Eppolito. The exact words that she uttered in that video was, "A wedding planner is no longer a luxury. They are a priority, and in many cases, a necessity." In 2021, a wedding planner is going to dedicate a lot of time to you and to your wedding as opposed to a venue coordinator. A wedding planner is also so up to date on the rules, regulations, and restrictions around COVID. As mentioned previously in another video, I specified what a planner does. Planners will manage aspects of your wedding day, such as booking in your suppliers, looking after your contracts from these suppliers. They will help you with designing and executing your wedding vision. Some will also help with styling your wedding and also managing the logistics before, after, and on the day. So ask your planner how they can help you with the decision-making process. If they can provide you with an all-inclusive service which involves managing everything, then the stress is off your shoulders. Two of the things that couples often struggle with is time and managing budget. Not being biased at all, but hiring a planner is totally worth the expense. There's always a wedding planner out there who can work within your budget. The next tip I want to provide you with is trusting your vendors. Perhaps you are planning a relatively simple wedding and you aren't going to invest in hiring a wedding planner. A word of caution before you start on the journey of sourcing your wedding vendors. Find and talk to people who have hired these vendors before. You can source these reviews or referrals via Google search or Facebook pages, or speak to people who have previously hired them. If you know of any family or friends, they will be able to provide you with the best referral. Book in a follow-up with that vendor before you make a solid decision. You just need to build some trust, that know, like, and trust factor with your vendors before you lock them in. And especially now with so much uncertainty in the air, one needs to know whether these vendors have contracts in place, are allowed to operate under COVID safety guidelines, know how to create one fabulous experience for you. And once you've booked them in, make sure you review those contracts over and over again, or hire someone like a planner to look through them for you. Question everything before you go ahead and make those payments. These contracts become proof of what you agreed on. It also helps to limit all those misunderstandings. If you follow me on socials or subscribe to my blog, you'll often hear me talking about the importance of mental health and well-being, as well as keeping calm before and during your wedding, and even after your wedding day. During these difficult times, it's so easy to lose track of the bigger picture here. The bigger picture, of course, relates to you and your partner and your lives after the wedding day. Majority of us will face some form of anxiety before the big day. The amount of time and preparation that goes into planning a wedding is enormous, and taking the next big step is a commitment in itself. My go-to tips for keeping calm are: practice daily meditation. Exercise, a no-brainer really, because a simple walk can clear your head as well. Maintain a balanced diet. Above all, and as ironic as it may sound, stay away from social media. I'm a regular user of social media, but I try to take breaks myself as well. Staying off it or just limiting the amount of usage can make a huge difference to your mental health and well-being. Once you get started with your wedding planning, it's so easy to get caught up in the emotion and the excitement of it all. Things will really spiral out of control once you start falling into that comparison trap. So there we have it. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below as well if you have any of your own tips for surviving 2021. I'd love to hear from you. I'd also like to invite you all to download my free wedding planning checklist that's in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.